Hi guys, 732 Review Crew back. I'm Mikey.
And I'm Mike.
This is Tales of the Jedi, the last episode, my favorite episode. And do you remember what happened last time?
Sorry, I got sonic boomed by your excitement.
Gotta go fast.
Something with Ahsoka. Trial for Ahsoka.
Yeah, no, Ahsoka was learning how to defend against clones.
Yeah.
This one is titled Resolve, and it states I believe a fallen Jedi is, or a lost Jedi, or just a former Jedi is finding their place in the galaxy. So let's find out when this takes place. We're starting in 3, 2, 1. Thank you for joining us.
Is this? Is this a funeral? Padme?
Yep.
Hey, look, it's Leia's parents.
No.
Isn't that Ortega or
And that's Mon
Organa?
Mothma from
Oh, it's Mon Mothma.
from Rebels.
Listen,
Sorry,
they change her how she looks in every single form of media.
you see who that was?
It's Ahsoka.
And she's at Padme's funeral. She looks so cool. She's pulling the Mandalorian vibe right now.
Come here. There's nothing you could have done. Why risk it?
That's who she is.
She was my friend.
Oh.
There's a patrol coming. You must leave. Where is your ship?
The river.
This way.
Coruscant car. Or she's on Naboo.
What a dope planet.
Space Italy.
If you need anything, you can contact me with this.
No. I'm tired of fighting.
Damn.
Squirrel.
What can I
Whoosh.
do for you, officer? Still, we have a duty, don't we? An obligation to uphold.
Oh, talking to her.
And if you should ever need anything, please contact me.
There. Oh.
Everything's so fancy looking. The particles. Can't wait to watch Bad Batch with this animation.
Oh no, the stabilizer. Oh no. Ahsoka! Did she like force spread it? Yeah, she did. I didn't do anything. I just reached out for you.
Please?
Fine.
No one can keep up with the Imperial quota.
Imperial.
Emperor Palpatine brought peace,
Yeah.
through persecution. Not citizens like us, only rebels who threaten the Empire. No one is safe. Only if you aren't loyal.
We are safe. But not because of the Empire.
Oh no, Ahsoka's just trying to be incognito right now.
Is your brother coming along?
No, but we'll be fine, won't we? Master Jedi.
Uh-oh.
You shouldn't say such things.
God damn it.
May the Force be with you.
I couldn't get half what they offered us last season.
Damn. That's vivid animation.
There's dead people.
That's a lot of flames.
Not the droid! That's the most Oh, he's on fire!
Uh-oh. Who's there? Who's that?
You claim a Jedi was here, and yet I find no one.
Bro, that drip is immaculate.
Do you know what that drip is?
No.
Inquisitor. Welcome to an Inquisitor.
To me and expect Imperial favor.
He's not lying.
Who is he? Why does that lightsaber look mad familiar?
It's an Inquisitor lightsaber. He's so intimidating.
Is your reward.
Woo! The misdirect.
So, how's she gonna win this?
It's like a plague mask.
I know, but the eyes behind it are what's throwing me. Ooh! Dude,
He's so cool though. Look at him dragging his
that's what I'm
lightsaber.
saying.
You're supposed to be dead.
What a background.
Ahsoka Tano.
Holy shit!
Welcome to Ahsoka.
He just deflated?
Look what you did.
Yeah, look what you did.
More will come. You're going to have to leave.
How?
I don't think he's gonna do this again if he finds another Jedi. Did she hail Bail Organa to come get 3 random farmers?
Everybody counts in the rebellion.
What is...
Please, this way.
So...
Things have only gotten worse. Are you sure you're ready to get back into the fight?
She can't have a peaceful existence. She's gonna hurt more people by trying to hide amongst them.
Oh yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. So yeah. So that's actually there's a book
That's
about
it?
there's a book about Ahsoka after 3 and 4. That's how she gets her lightsaber crystals.
After 3 and 4?
Movies 3, between 3 and 4. I'm sorry.
Okay. I was gonna say that
sorry.
is a...
Yeah, sorry. So this story is how she gets her lightsaber crystals. So because she lost her lightsabers,
She takes them from Inquisitors.
she takes, because I consider technically I believe has 2, because both sides. I don't know if that's how it works
I
specifically,
don't think it is.
but she needs 2. So she takes, I believe, his crystal, and it's red obviously. So she uses the Force to purify it.
Which goes white.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's
okay.
that's the whole thing.
But that doesn't... So, like, not to dig into the logic of space mysticism, but if you can take a blue lightsaber and turn it red, if you're turning the red lightsaber back, shouldn't it go back to a proper color? Why would it stay white?
So there's multiple theories. The first one is that in order to bleed a lightsaber crystal red requires atrocities of certain calibers. So killing younglings, etc.
Okay, and continue.
So when a lightsaber goes red, it becomes red for a reason, and it doesn't easily go back. So in more recent media, for example, this is going to be a spoiler Jedi Survivor. So if you're going to play that, just skip about a minute. So in that, there's a Jedi from the High Republic who's the Jedi Survivor that you take out of stasis who's Cal Kestis. Cal Kestis is a Jedi who survived the Purge as
Sure.
literally like a 5-year-old survived.
Mhm.
And he hit on a planet until a similar situation happens where somebody's about to fall and he catches them with the Force, and then the Inquisitors show up, and that's like a whole big thing.
Right.
So he has to survive. He meets a High Republic Jedi who was left in stasis. The Jedi pulls you pull him out. You're like, oh sweet, a High Republic Jedi to help us fight Darth Vader and the Empire.
Mhm.
And he's like evil because he's been betrayed by the Jedi Order.
Okay.
And his lightsaber bleeds red because I don't know if he kills someone, he goes evil, or if he just, I don't know what he does. I can't remember.
Sure.
He bleeds it red. So bleeding it red requires intense, negative emotions and whatnot. And it's not super easy to bleed it red because it's like a full commit to the dark side.
I could like kind of understand it that you can't, once it goes red, like you going white is about as far as you can go, just because like it's maybe supposed to symbolize like the whole idea of like once you've committed atrocities, like you can do so many good acts afterwards, but it's still you're still stained by those atrocities.
The other viewpoint.
But then like, how does Mara Jade have like a pink lightsaber?
No.
Okay.
We're not doing that.
All right, we're not gonna.
No.
Okay.
That's not. We're not gonna talk non-canon. But like basically, there's also 2 other theories. One is that Ahsoka is a gray Jedi, meaning she's not Jedi nor Sith. She's in the middle.
I thought
and
the
there's very few that don't
fandom
exist.
agreed that that's not a real thing.
It kind of isn't, but people still try to make it happen. There's gray Jedi that exist in Old Republic lore that are in like games and whatnot, and they're really gray Jedi because they are the first existence of them. One being Revan, the other one being, I can't remember the guy's name, but he lived on Kashyyyk. He was actually a gray Jedi. He was an old guy. Both good and bad. The big thing is, gray Jedi would have white lightsaber makes sense. The other thing is Ahsoka is so pure at this point. And also because there are so little Jedi left and she's so strong from the Force being, channeled towards her potentially, that she, with pure Force, is pure good. Like she has no evil intentions, therefore it is white. Because she really never had evil intentions, Ahsoka. And then you have to remember the fact that she went to Mortis and was possessed by the evil and then purged of the evil. And then she was possessed by the sister because she died.
So she's Space Jesus.
She is not Space Jesus, but there's always the theory that she is the Force royalty right now because she has the sister inside of her, the daughter.
Right.
So, and the daughter's dead, so she is the manifestation of the daughter, thus how powerful she is and all these things. Which makes sense combined with being Anakin's apprentice. Those are just theories and my theories. And online theories. Eddie might have the same theories, but it's amplified by I'm pretty sure, the fact that I believe the bird shows up in Clone Wars at the end.
The bird.
The sister's bird, I believe. 100%
Okay.
sure. And the sister's bird is
Yeah, no, I mean
yeah.
they visited like
Mhm.
heaven basically, so they don't
And this
anything with Ahsoka being of elevated status is kind of just you could just
Yeah.
when you visit Force Heaven, I mean, yeah, what do you expect?
and I mean this episode was awesome because it reminded me of, like I said, the Jedi's Fallen Order game, which this isn't really a spoiler because this is like the first like 10 minutes and it's included in like the trailers and it's kind of made known. Basically, you reach out because you're working in like a space chop shop, chopping up old spaceships.
Okay,
And somebody falls and you have to catch
right.
him with the Force.
Right.
And then somebody reported it. So like the Inquisitors come and they start doing what you saw here, which the Inquisitors, I'm not going to spoil them too much because you'll learn about them in different medias, but they're basically Jedis who were able to be turned by Palpatine and Vader to become hunters to kill Jedi. They're not Sith. They're made
Right.
and they're purposely trained inefficiently and not fully so that they can't ever be a threat for Vader and Palpatine.
Right.
And in fact, I believe I read one of the comics, Vader literally is dueling. Vader fights a bunch of them at the same time to train them, and he's actually cutting their body parts off during the duel because he's like teaching them pain and like replacing them. So like he's crazy. So like their main purpose is to literally just hunt down Jedi and pockets of them. And a lot of the theory is that the Jedi who survived are unfortunately either younglings that survive because of their ability to go incognito, or older ones. So you either have an older or more experienced Jedi like Ahsoka who literally destroys the Inquisitors, or weaker ones. But whatever happens, the Inquisitor dying or losing will draw out the whole situation and then allow either. I believe you know this character from the board game that we used to play, the Grand Inquisitor, to show,
Right.
or Vader. The Grand Inquisitor is just under Vader in terms of like everything. Just like other Inquisitors, he was in the Ahsoka show too.
No, I know that, but what the whole Inquisitor thing it confuses me because like the rule of two, but then you have
They're not
like
Sith.
they're not Sith, but now you're saying the Grand Inquisitor is below Vader on the power scale,
Of
and
course.
it's like
Yeah.
okay,
Grand Inquisitor is on below Vader on the power scale. I'm not going to reveal too much about him.
but like that, what? How is he not a Sith if he's below? Like he's the only one below Vader on the power scale.
Who?
And then then.
So how is Vader?
Man,
So I mean, I can explain that to you.
no, it's fine. We've gone too long. This is a 12-minute episode.
no.
I think we're at 12 minutes of discussion.
It's fine. I mean, he's so like all things Sith. He's just literally basically like Ventress was an assassin used to hunt down other people, and there's no real purpose. Once all the Jedi are eradicated, there's a good chance Palpatine and Vader would kill all the Inquisitors, and that's my head theory, because they're just tools, and they pose zero threat to both Vader and Palpatine. So they're just kind of the weaker, but still like useful.
How many Jedi were there when Order 66 happened?
There was hundreds, if not thousands.
Because like I feel like we're at over a dozen people survived and had their
Yes.
own show, and it's just
so
like
there's about 1 to 2 dozen, maybe 3 dozen Jedi that survived the Purge.
like what's up with that dude from the Ahsoka show? The
Balin.
yeah.
So Balin, Ahsoka,
How where
Obi-Wan, Yoda. We have
there's more.
Cal Kestis, Kanan Jarrus, technically Asajj Ventress.
Some of these Inquisitor people,
Well, the Inquisitors we don't count because they're bad guys now. They would be dead if they didn't join the bads.
they had to have joined. But wait, that doesn't even make sense because like Order 66 happened basically when Anakin became Palpatine's apprentice. So
Seer.
like what the
Cordova.
I like this. I like all of Star Wars.
This is the most convoluted part of
But
Star
man,
Wars.
I like that George Lucas gives zero fucks about the continuity.
Well, a lot of this isn't George Lucas too, because the issue becomes
Sure, we got
know,
Filoni in there too.
we got a lot of great.
And we got other
Well,
people.
Ahsoka's actually Filoni / Lucas's, so she's intended.
No, I got that.
The big thing I want to just point out though is that technically, if you look at the movies just 4, 5, and 6, there is only 3 Jedi. Luke,
Obi-Wan and Yoda.
yes, that exist, that are still alive. Everyone else is dead. They've all died. But then by adding in other media, there's about 30 to 40 extra ones that survive somehow. And regardless of,
Which is
I will say
crazy.
90% of them are literally cut off. They cut themselves off from the Force,
Sure.
and they cannot be found unless somebody knows who they are. And they have they drop their there's literally no way to tell unless somebody knew who they were. and so they're going to be impossible to find.
Meanwhile, Yoda's just chilling.
Yeah. The other 10, 12 are like suppressed and hiding and like waiting or doing things like helping the rebellion or just doing their own stuff because the order's gone. So those are the things that come in not extended media, because extended's not canon, but like canon media. And you learn about these Jedi, they become fleshed out, comics, books, games, TV, all that stuff, and it's pretty cool. But the biggest plot hole that I want to get to is the fact that they exist during 4, 5, and 6, and so forth, but they have no effect on the story that's visible. But then, like, technically, right? I mean, what kind of like lessons Luke, Leia, and the Rebellion? Like, what we know is if you include these Jedi fighting anybody, Vader, Palpatine, any of that stuff, the power scaling immediately goes out the window, because nobody's supposed to be able to beat Palpatine or Vader, so they can't come close. So if you have an interaction with them, you're basically dead.
Yeah.
And they can do minor things, but they can't do major things, because all the major Rebellion victories were kind of Luke and Leia. So it's like that's the biggest plot hole.
No, I mean, like, it and kind of
I like it.
Having the experience, like seeing 4, 5, 6 first, and then seeing 1, 2, 3 in theaters, and then now 7, 8, 9. Like, I don't hate that there's continuity errors, but like, yeah, I've seen the online discussions that are mad about Ahsoka and how she's not mentioned in 6 of the movies.
She's not mentioned in 9 of the movies, but I will say that if you watch like the last movie spoiler, there's a moment where Rey calls on all the Jedi with Kylo Ren, like they're working together to fight Palpatine, and like they call on all the Jedi, and you hear like Ahsoka's voice, like the actress. So they include her in that, because the Rebels and Clone Wars and stuff like that, like all the things came out, and you know about that because of the Ahsoka show, so like that helps you a little bit more. But I mean, yeah, like you said, this was like a 60-minute episode. This is like a 30-minute discussion, so we're gonna wrap this up. Otherwise, I'll talk all day about Star Wars.
No, this is good.
And we have 10 more Star Wars. Star Wars is fun. So thank you for joining us. I'm Mikey.
I'm Mike.
And up next is Tales of the Empire, and yeah, I'm excited for that because I actually haven't seen that.
Ooh.
So new stuff I haven't seen. I don't know what it's about or who it follows, but I can only imagine we're going to be learning about some Inquisitors potentially and how they're being made. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.
Toodaloo.